companies, pharmaceutical companies, by licensing or M&A. Such innovation ecosystem was not well developed in Japan. That was which we have learned. Actually, the model of drug discovery and research development has changed dramatically in the last decades. Please look at the left figures. Emerging biopharma, which means small startups and mid-sized biotech companies, accounts for 80% of the drug pipeline they are developing. So all the world's drug pipeline candidates are being developed by these emerging biopharma, small startups and mid-sized biotech companies. And these trends are becoming more and more stronger. Here, please look at the right figures. Even consolidating all drug pipelines together in big companies. Here, even top 10 companies accounts for only 5% of the all drug candidates in the world. And that number has been reduced in half, less than half, in the last decade. So less of the drug pipelines are currently developed by small startups and mid-sized biotech. That is the current trend in the world. And what made this change? Here, it is the diversification of modalities. So drug is now have multiple modalities, technologies. From small molecule, so until 1990, majority of the drugs are small molecules, pills and injections. But now, many blockbusters, world-selling drugs are here. Biologics, as you know. And then currently, all the world drug candidates, I think the number would be 200,000 maybe, and 30% of these drug pipelines are dominated by new modalities, cell and gene therapy, nucleic acid drugs, and peptide drugs. So new modalities are coming. And then that era is advancing further. Here, the combination of diverse technologies are happening in the world. AI, digital, device, for example, drug with AI, drug with application, drug with robots, drug with catheter. Many technologies are combining and merging together in healthcare industry. So, in order to make innovation happen, startups are necessary. And many startups are emerging in cities listed here. This is the top 20 cities where startups are emerging. Boston, San Diego, San Francisco, Singapore, and many European cities. And in these cities, diverse talents and technologies are connected and merging. And innovative products and services are brought to patients as a result. These cities with rich ecosystem have 6 elements in common, listed below. Also, startups, many startups, and risk funding, rich risk funding, and talents, STEM talents, and publication, knowledge, infrastructure, like incubators, and lastly, innovation-friendly regulation and policies. So all the different cities have 6 elements in common. And as a result, biotech innovation is now happening. So looking at the risk investment in the world, so these are the last 5 years figures. So investment from VC, venture capital, or corporate VCs for biotech startup companies. The blue bar is the US. So US far beyond the top. So in the last 2022, so $41.8 billion for biotech companies in the US, startup companies in the US. In comparison, the red one is Japan, $0.8 billion for startups in investment, only 2%. It is too small. And yellow one is China, and blue one is Europe. So This is the risk investment. And looking at each startup company, how is the fundraising? Here, the size of the fundraising in each startups in comparison between US and Japan. Japan is in the middle. So as you can see, from $10 million to $30, $40 million, and in comparison, the US startups fundraising about $300 million, $600 million, so 10 to 20 times higher. And this is reflected on the level of risk-taking and the speed of the research and development. We should improve that. Meanwhile, neighboring Asian countries, as you can see here, are making remarkable strides. I know Korean government has positioned the biopharm industry as an important pillar of economic growth and is focusing on startup incubation, fostering startups, and country-led industrial clusters and facilities, such as K-Biohealth, have been established to form an ecosystem, and numerous unicorns have been born. The amount of startup fundings in South Korea is around $1.8 billion now, which has surpassed greatly that of Japan. We would like to learn from you how you have achieved this. 마루해 주세요. To improve the situation, here, we IPARC started 5 years ago in Japan with a mission and vision here. Our vision is to bring innovative ideas into society, products, and then with a mission to build a life science ecosystem open to the world, connected to the world. Our facility was previously a research center for Takeda, which was built more than 10 years ago. 2011, the building was built as a Takeda's Central Research Center. And just 5 years ago, 2018, we opened it for external companies, startups, and many companies to build, to create a Shonan IPARC, Open Innovation Hub. And just this year, to become more neutral facility and neutral, to provide a more neutral service, diverse service, we established an independent company, IPARC Institute, which is an operating company for Shonan IPARC. And you can see the photo of our building, so huge that with a land of 220,000 square meters, actually it is the second biggest building in Japan. Do you know which is the first? The first is Narita Airport, actually. We are providing 5 major activities. First is providing high-quality research facility and research support. And second is attract diverse companies from small startups to big companies and other technologies as well to enrich ecosystem. And third is to promote academic, industry, public partnership and with local community as well. And fourth, incubating startup companies, ventures, and lastly, provide platform service to accelerate research. These are our activities. So it is a facility you can come and see here, that attractive high-quality research equipment lab and offices together. And like, I heard that some of you have been to Singapore, Biopolis, and it is similar facilities are here. And also with very attractive interactive space where researchers can interact beyond companies, like cafeteria, bar, and libraries, gym, and many attractive spaces for interaction there. And we facilitate many activities for researchers to interact, such as like Science Cafe. It is a journal club. More than 30 companies are joining, and more than 100 researchers are weekly discussing one article they choose and discuss the topic. Yeah? So that since the opening of IPARC, more than 5 years, they are doing this. weekly. And business, we facilitate leadership club, which is a gathering of the leadership, CEO of the startups and the senior leadership of the big companies are gathering periodically together to form a partnership. And then thirdly, even after work, we support activities like recreation club, such as ping pong club or yoga club, to facilitate researchers beyond the companies interact together. With these, many partnerships are being created. And we partner with local cities and the government as well. 5 parties agreement we made to build an innovation biohub in Shonan. And new train station will be built in 10 years. So after 5 years, we have now more than 100 tenant companies, mainly life science companies, plus 60 membership companies. Members are not having lab or offices at iPark, but joining event at iPark. So more than 160 companies are joining iPark. And as a staff, as a people working at iPark, more than 2,400 people are actually working at iPark, and mainly majorities are researchers. So looking at the companies, from big companies, Takeda, Tanabe, Mitsubishi, Kirin, and more than 40 startup companies, life science companies, and supporting companies like CROs, and medtech companies, AI companies, many are gathering together. So this is just a concept. The left circle are the statistics 5 years ago. Only Takeda was the anchor, big companies 5 years ago. iPark started from Takeda, and there were only small number of Takeda-related companies initially 5 years ago. But now, on the right, Takeda was the only anchor at that time, but now many more anchor companies are located at iPark. And they are driving many independent partnerships with diverse companies. We're becoming more and more neutral place to catalyze partnership. And that is the major reason that iPark spun out from Takeda, to provide diverse services and catalyze to be neutral, to catalyze more partnerships. So as a result, the number of collaborations are exponentially increasing. First year, only 18 collaborations, research partnership, business partnership, but increasing. And now, 2022, last year, more than 2,100 partnerships are made between tenant companies at iPark. So we are based on the one hypothesis: co-location accelerates collaboration. And this figures, I think, has proven the concept. So the last slide. Again, the biopharmaceutical industry is now losing its boundaries and combining with other technologies such as AI, digital, medtech, food tech, and green tech. We need a thriving ecosystem where diverse talents and technologies can connect. So is there any way to cooperate in Asia, especially between Korea and Japan, to grow startups and new industries before aiming for success in the US market? Such collaboration will enrich the diversity of innovation and eventually benefit patients globally, I believe. Thank you very much. 감사합니다.
Thank you so much, Dr. Toshio Fujimoto.